Coming up in the morning edition, child abductions continue here in the capital. Senators acknowledge International Women's Day. And we highlight tourist policing during Police Month. It's International Women's Day. Kudos to all the hardworking women around the world. Welcome to the Morning Edition. I'm LaDawn Davis. It's Friday, and we want to plan our weekend just right. Here's Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean to help us with those plans weather-wise. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. I was at this tower cam showing some stratiform clouds out there, but much of that will burn off during the course of the day once the sun comes up. And as we take a look at our satellite picture, we still have that old stall-out front boundary just to the south of the Turks and Caicos Islands, and that's firing up some cloudy periods over that area. And over the rest of the Bahamas, high pressure remains in control, and that means some brisk winds over the next day and a half. And outside of our studios, it is partly cloudy, temperature at 69 degrees, relative humidity 74%, easterly winds at 15 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,021.1 millibars, that's 30.19 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning: Marsh Harbor at 65, 64 in Grand Turkey, also Freeport at 64, the Berry Islands 69, Allenstown, Bimini 68 degrees, 70 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera 71, 72 in Otterstown, Cat Island, Stanley Key 70, 69 in Camps Bay, South Andros, Fresh Creek at 68 degrees, 73 in San Salvador and Rum Key, in Clarencetown, Long Island, Ragged Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, and Matthewtown, Nago, all at 75 degrees. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, our neighbors to the southeast, also reporting 75 degrees. And your boating forecast for today: in the northwestern islands, east to southeast winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. The high tide, that will take place this morning at 8:50, low tide at 3:06 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. Caution flags remain in place for your boaters in the central and southeastern Bahamas. That's going to do it for your first look at weather, the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight, it's still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Vaughn Aubrey is on Collins Avenue, standing by with a traffic report to assist you with your daily commute.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Good morning. Yes, we are on Collins Avenue North. Right here, an accident took place early this morning during the wee hours of the morning. I'm going to step aside and tell you what happened while cameraman Lyndon Smith shows what the aftermath. There's a lot of debris strewn across Collins Avenue because a car coming down Collins Avenue Hill towards Shirley Street, traveling in a northerly direction on the western side of Collins Avenue, actually went into the other lane on the eastern side of Collins Avenue and hit two parked vehicles belonging to Doctors Hospital employees. One of those cars, that black Honda that you see, is still here. The other, which was extensively damaged, was taken by a wrecker from the scene. We do have video, which Lyndon Smith showed. Could you please show that right now? Because that shows the aftermath of the accident. Again, traffic officials continue to stress that speed could be a factor, driving without due care and attention. And in fact, you know that we have had 6 fatalities over the last 8 days. So please drive carefully. We know that weekends tend to be a time where there are more people on the road, more accidents. Speed, alcohol, driving without due care and attention. Again, this weekend will be a sad weekend, as a number of those traffic fatality victims will be laid to rest, including 17-year-old Bernard Sanders. And the sound that comes to my head is, yes, lay down, my dear brother, lay down and take your rest, because Jesus loves you best. So we bid you goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Sad time, because a lot of families will be laying loved ones to rest, including the traffic fatality victims. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks a lot, Vaughn. Now on to our top story this morning. Police are presently investigating an alleged abduction of 2 juvenile males, which occurred yesterday. Now, according to reports, shortly before 4 p.m. yesterday, 2 boys ages 10 and 8 years old were walking in Cool Acres off Fox Hill Road South when they were picked up by a female who was the lone occupant of a dark-colored vehicle. Now, a short time later, the 10-year-old was dropped back in Cool Acres, and the 8-year-old child was dropped off at the Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway near to the entrance of the city dump. Both children are presently back at home, reportedly with no physical injuries. Police are seeking the public's assistance with any information that can assist in identifying the female responsible for this and the recent matter. They're also asked to contact CDU at 502-9991 or 2, Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS or 919. As we said earlier, it's International Women's Day. Senators also celebrated the contributions of women on this globally recognized day. The United Nations theme for the day is Think Equal, Build Smart, Innovate for Change. Senate President Kay Forbes Smith led off the sentiments on Women's Day to celebrate the accomplishments of women in the social, cultural, economic, and political spheres.
I trust in the not-too-distant future, the Bahamas will remove all forms of discrimination from our Constitution, especially as it relates to women.
It's a time for all of us as women to reflect on the progress that we have made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of women's rights.
To make not just countries more fair, more equal, and more free, but often many of these women risk themselves and their families to get this work done without recognition.
Many of my sisters have said about us fighting even harder to be recognized on parity with our male colleagues for the contributions that we have made.
When women and men are equally empowered as political and social actors, governments are more representative.
Governor General, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Marguerite Penling welcomed Mrs. Kathleen Moxey, who celebrated her 92nd birthday, to Government House on Thursday. The Governor General presented Mrs. Moxey, who was accompanied by several of her family members, with an arrangement of flowers. Happy birthday, Kathleen Moxey. And stay close, we've got Willis and the Illis live in studio. That and more when the morning edition comes right back.
So fight for what you believe in.
Welcome back to the morning edition. Song artist Ricardo Clark joins us in studio today. Everyone expects him to sing, but not today. He's going to be telling us about his weight loss and healthy lifestyle change. Ricardo, welcome to the morning edition.
It is a pleasure.
So talk to me a little bit about what actually prompted you to actually want to lose weight.
You know what, we're all getting older, and I guess just living our best life, you realize that with weight, you tend to lose efficiency. So sore knees, cranky, I'm like, I gotta improve. And that began the journey.
How has the journey?
A long journey.
Speaking of the long journey,
yeah.
how has the journey been for you?
Great. I'm down 50 pounds. I think 2017 is when I began to really take things seriously, crossing that 40 threshold, and I was like, you know what? You gotta be at your optimum, and you only get one body. So every day, we're out there, and I think I'm in a journey of being stronger in soul, in mind, and in body.
I know you said you lost 50 pounds. You want to lose some more, or are you going to stop there?
You know what? The funny thing about it is it wasn't even about the weight. It was more about just doing the right things every day and allowing your body to calibrate or recalibrate in this vein. So that's what I do. I just went on the scale and I'm like, Jesus, I'm down 50 pounds. But it's not about an actual number, because I think we make exercise an event and not something that's essential every day.
And I know I don't want to lose weight, but what advice do you want to give to persons thinking about doing the same or going on the same journey as yourself?
Well, I just recently heard that the Bahamas is 70% overweight, and we are one of the unhealthiest countries in the region. So for me, I just want to stay active and encourage people to be active, use my platform to be active. And given that this is International Women's Day, a lot of women out there help me to be active, because we're outnumbered like 10 to 1 every time I'm exercising. So shouts out to the women who inspire us men to live healthier lives.
Ricardo Clark, thank you so much for joining us here in the Morning Edition, and best of luck on your healthy lifestyle.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. Last year, over 6 million tourists visited the Bahamas, the majority cruise ship passengers. Also last year, police reported that some of these tourists were arrested for minor offenses. Officer in charge of keeping law and order downtown is Superintendent Kent Butler of the Tourism Policing Unit. He was asked about the process when tourists break the laws.
Where persons would disappear into the suburban areas. On their return to the cruise ships, they would try to get into the festival gate area to get on board and maybe encountered with security or some other infraction at their boat that they tend to return on and be found in possession of drugs. Those persons would automatically be taken into custody, taken to the Central Police Station, and then later transported to the Drug Enforcement Unit for processing.
How do you deal with unruly tourists? Police.
Well,
do you encounter unruly tourists?
In encountering the unruly tourists, most of their situations would be them consuming too much alcohol, and then you have little situations where some of them either they don't believe that the amounts they have to pay for certain services, which include, I guess, the rentals of scooters, the rentals of some other equipment that they tend to use in coming to the use of the ferry boats.
The one-of-a-kind Willis and the Illest band joins us live here on the Morning Edition. Willis, talk to us a little bit about what is the band up to?
Good. We're just about finished wrapping up recording our first full album, our first project of this nature, and also we just constructed our recording studio. So we're about to do a full release on a lot of original music.
So where are you guys currently playing?
Currently, right now, we don't have like a home base or anything that we're trying to move around quite a bit. The next performance we're gonna do will be opening for Buju on March 30th. So we're kind of like trying to spread our original music around quite a bit instead of staying in one spot.
So where did Willis and the Illest, I guess, come from, for persons who may not know?
Well, we started about 10 years ago, and the first place that we played was a little dive bar called Hammerheads back in the day, and it was a popular time, a magical time for our career. Yeah.
So what are you guys going to be performing for us here on the Morning Edition?
We're going to be performing the lead single from the new project, The Forward Movement. It's entitled No Criminal.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Willis and the Illest.
Criminal Rasta, we no criminal. Criminal Rasta, we no criminal. AI only peace I bring, we have a spiritual. So keep your negativity to a minimal. Boy, good afternoon, step out of the vehicle, chief. Do you have any herb on you now we see? And Rasta man, you better don't lie to me, see? Cause if we search this car and we find anything, well, we gon' cuff you and we carry you to jail. En route to Old Fox Hill, you will sail. Look at me, Rasta man, now are you afraid? Look nervous to Selassie, you better pray. Know what it is that gave you away. Dreadlocks, man, like smoke the herb every day. 1 gram, 2 grams, 3 grams, 4. Rasta better hope I don't find any more. Criminal Rasta, we no criminal. See, criminal Rasta, we no criminal. AI only peace I bring, we have a spiritual. So keep your negativity to a minimal. Boy, Criminal Rasta, we no criminal. Criminal Rasta, we no criminal. AI, only peace I bring, we ever spiritual. So keep your negativity to a minimal. I see. Well, follow me now. Willis is my name and Rastafarianism is my fate. And herb is of what the most I create. An officer, there is no need for me to lie today. So cuff me and the book me and the carry me if you may. Don't think you can come try intimidate. Against the Rasta man you try to discriminate. Cause we protected by the powers of His Majesty. Only love we bring and job positivity. 1 gram, 2 grams, 3 grams, 4. Rasta man smoke the herb evermore. 1 gram, 2 grams, 3 grams, 4. Rasta man smoke the herb evermore. Criminal Rasta, we no criminals. See, criminal Rasta, we no criminal. AI, only peace I bring, we ever spiritual. So keep your negativity to a minimal. Boy, criminal Rasta, we no criminals. See, criminal Rasta, we no criminal. AI, only peace I bring, we ever spiritual. So keep your negativity to a minimal. Hey, cause freedom is a must, and good over evil there is no one to trust. The holy sacrament of us. So tell me, Mr. Officer, now what's all the fuss? Now I say, I am no criminal. Hey. Criminal Rasta, we no criminal. Criminal Rasta, we
Johnny, a good performance there by
Yes, definitely. I want to see some more coming up, right?
What's coming up in sport?
Well, Dawn, we can tell you that the women's basketball championship was back on court last night, plus the track and field championships for the private schools continuing.
That and more ahead in sports. Stay close. We've got more news right after this. You're watching The Morning Edition.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The New Providence Basketball Association's best of 3 first-round playoffs were back on the court last night at the AF Adderley Gym. Up first in Division 2, it took overtime to decide a winner as Leno's Eagles Nest stunned the Alive Buckets 80-78 to take a 1-0 series lead. Leno got a game-high 24 points from Dante DeVoe, Alfred Smith chipping in with 14 points and 12 boards. Tyrell Butler had 12 points while Bradley Altidore added a double-double. In the loss for Alive, Dylan Musgrove, he had a side-high 23 points. Kieran Mortimer followed with 14 points and 12 rebounds. James Roll and Dario Thompson also in double figures with 12 and 10 respectively. In the Division 1 feature game, it was all about the discount distributor Rockets. They took the series opener 88-68 over the Leno Regulators. In the win, Kadario Pinder a game-high 26 points to go along with 13 boards. Larica Sambrista added 17 points while Dominique Beadle followed with 14. Kenneth Pratt, the only regulator in double figures, that is, he had a side-high 24 points to go along with 15 boards. Game 2 in both these series will be played on Saturday. The other 2 series resume come tomorrow. Game 2 in the New Providence Women's Basketball Association's Best of 5 Championship will be played tonight at the Donald Davis Gym. Game 1 went right down to the wire, with the defending champion Bees Trucking Destroyers holding off Foxy's Angels, a final there of 64-60. Day 1 of the BAISS Track and Field Championships in the books. The Queens College Comets holding a 37-point lead over Sacs Big Red Machine. QC amassing some 434 points to Sacs 396. St. John's a distant third with 153. Temple Christian in fourth, 107, while St. Anne's rounds out the top 5 with 87 points. Still 2 more days of competition left, and they'll resume later on this morning at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. The KPMG Winter Youth Sailing Championship set for this weekend in Montague Bay. It will be the first of 3 qualifiers for the North American Championships, which will be held right here in the capital in late September, early October. Sailors from New Providence, Abaco, Long Island, and Harbor Island will all be in competition in the Opti, Laser, and Sunfish classes. 14 spots up for grabs on Team Bahamas. This morning we're joined live by Robert Dunkley, Director of the Bahamas National Sailing School. And Robert, it should be a good weekend.
It's going to be a fantastic weekend, Jonathan. We're going to have around 70 junior sailors from around the country, and we'll be sailing Saturday all day, Sunday, and it's a 7-race series. And I've got here with me 2 of our top sailors, okay, Joshua Weech and Craig Ferguson. Two of them are on our race team, international race team, and both these guys are going to be out there. Now, who's going to win?
Me.
But I'm guessing with so much on the line at the North Americans, you're expecting good competition from all the sailors.
Absolutely. This is a qualifier for the Optimist North American Championships, which is going to be held in September, well, September the 27th to October the 4th. And we're going to be allowed a team of 14 young Bahamians to represent the Bahamas at the North Americans.
I guess that's a good thing too, because when you travel, you only get like 4 spots, but now you get 14 spots, right?
Exactly. One of the benefits of being the host country. And this is weekend event is going to be at the Nassau Yacht Club, and also the Nassau Yacht Club, along with the Bahamas National Sailing School, will be hosting the North Americans.
I know you guys been going since 2013. You've seen that good growth, and you're happy with how it's going right now?
Tremendously. And well, the KPMG regatta was one that was started in 2013, but the school's been going since 2004. And these days we go through about over 200 students for the year.
I know when we spoke yesterday, I know you guys have a couple of schools here in Nassau, Abaco, Long Island, Harbor Island. You guys planning to expand to any more islands?
Well, one of the other islands is Great Exuma. Their program, they started just over a year ago, and they're doing very well with that. And going beyond this, you know, it's our goal to, first of all, have sailing in all of the government schools, or all the schools in the country, but also to expand the sailing program well beyond the islands that we have right now.
Well, we want to thank Robert and these two gentlemen for joining us here this morning. Good luck on Saturday and Sunday, and the morning edition will be back right after this. Welcome to sports, everybody. The New Providence Women's Basketball Association's Best of 5 Championship was back on the court last night at the Donald Davis Gym. After taking the series opener on Tuesday, the Bees Trucking Destroyers got out to a fast start in Game 2, going up by as many as 17 points in the first half. The third and fourth quarters, though, a totally different story. Foxy's Angels went to work, and they would tie the series, winning 76-65.
We continued to work together as a team. We settled down on offense and we pressed the ball. Her big help was our center. She came in, she got those offensive rebounds. We worked as a team and we continued to trust in God, because it isn't over until the buzzer sounds.
We went away from our game plan. We went away from the principles that we started the game off with. And they played hard, and they just came out in the last quarter and gave it their all.
The New Providence Basketball Association's Best of 3 first-round playoffs will be back on the floor tonight at the AF Adderley Gym. In Division 2, the Triple K Stampers have their backs against the wall and must win Game 2 with the Sunwell Rockets to stay alive and force a winner-take-all. Game 3.
It's a 3-game series, so we got to fight hard because we don't want to go home and then our backs against the wall. So I seen us play a lot better basketball with backs against the wall. So in due time, we can get it together.
The situation much the same in the men's feature game tonight. After losing Game 1 to the JD Seafood Shockers, the UB Mingos need a win to extend that series.
That's a very good team, you know, very well coached team. Don't forget, I used to be a Shocker at one point, you know, so that's a real good organization. They understand how to win, and if you look at the wins from that organization over the years, you know that team has a winning attitude. So for us, though, all we need to do is cut down on the turnovers, definitely. I think the players that need to get going offensively, 11, Ramon Dames, 23, Kimsey Sylvester, Anton Bevins, number 1.
2 days complete at the BAISS Track and Field Championships, and the Queens College Comets still out in front. However, Sack's Big Red Machine did cut into the 38-point deficit from day 1. QC's lead now down to 17 points. They have a total of 737. Sack has 720. St. John's third with 221. Fourth is Temple Christian with 205.5. And rounding out the top 5 is St. Anne's with 126 points. Today will be the third and final day of competition. It looks like it may come down to the final event, the 4x4 relays, to determine a champion. Former world boxing champion Bernard Hopkins in town. He's here as a special guest of the Ministry of Education. I was in the House of Assembly earlier this week.
While in prison, Mr. Hopkins turned to boxing, and essentially it saved his life. And once leaving prison, the prison guard told him, "No worry, Bernard, we'll see you back here in a short while." And he turned around and said, "You ain't gonna see me back here ever again." And from that day on, he led a clean life in 1988, and he went on to fight his first bout, and in 2004 became the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. He is here to assist us in being a motivation and inspiration to our young people. And he also is offering himself to speak to and counsel some of our young men in particular. So he's going to go around to the schools throughout the country and into the prison and the boys' industrial school, if that's still the name of it, Simpson Penn, I think it is, and encourage and show that there's a better way, that we do not have to submit. It's not where you come from, but where you come to.
And that will do it for sports, but stay tuned. The morning edition comes back after this break.
In our final look at weather, that frontal boundary now just to the south of the Turks and Caicos Island will continue to generate some cloudiness over the southeast. Bahamas, high pressure is in control over the northwest and central islands, and that means brisk winds for the balance of today. Partly sunny and breezy conditions today with your high temperature around 83 degrees. And tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy with a few showers in place, 71 degrees for your low. And your extended weather forecast, lots of sunshine as we head into the weekend. Temperatures warming back up into the 80s during the daytime and back up into the 70s during the weekend. But we'll get some more 60s as we head into the middle part of next week. LaDawn?
Thanks a lot, Basil, and that's a wrap for the morning edition. Make sure to join us on Monday at 7 a.m. We're going to leave you with the sounds of Willis and the Illest. I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great day.
I'm a lion in the jungle. Say, I'm a lion in the jungle. Hey, and I'm fighting this war every day. Sure. Fantastic eyes, the dreadful lows. Ooh yeah, my skin's tough enough to take like blows. Ooh, the guitar as my weapon. Ooh yeah, these words are my ammunition. Yeah. And I'm armored with the dreads. Ooh yeah, that fall from atop my head. With my fist held up high, Joe, so higher than the sky. Hey, yeah. I'm a lion in the jungle. Say, I'm a lion in the jungle. Bum bums away. I'm a lion in the jungle. Say, fighting this war every day. Lying in the jungle, I'm a caller 242. Yeah. Keeper of the poor and protector of the truth. Yeah. We fight in the music warfare, so our price don't get our youths. Yeah. Stand firm and tall, know the future start with you. Yeah. Jah lives in I, let them take control of you. Yeah. Afraid to grow your dreadlocks and them fight them for the truth. With your fist held up high, so higher than the sky, say, I'm a lion in the jungle. Ooh, I'm a lion in the jungle. Bounce, bounce away.